Humans like using animals for profit or for sport. Some humans like to take risks and approach wild animals, but sometimes things do not go as planned. Sometimes humans go too far, and animals realize this, and they let humans know it. How do you think an octopus would react if a diver got too close for comfort? What about wild pigs? Are they more polite than an octopus? Why don't you stick around and find out as we count down 15 times animals took revenge on humans. Number 15. Dog eat car world. Dogs are man's best friend, but that's really predicted on man being nice to the dog first. This prediction became true for a man in Chongqing, China, who felt the full force of canine karma. After finding a stray dog chilling in his usual parking spot, he sent it on its way with a swift kick and parked up as usual. But when he returned to his car the next morning, he found it in a dire state, covered in little dents and marks. It appeared vandals had targeted his vehicle overnight, but unruly neighborhood kids weren't the source of trouble. Indeed, the man's neighbor had captured a very different story on camera. A pack of stray dogs had shown up that night and attacked the car. They left deep dents and bite marks all over the car, giving the wheel arches and windscreen wipers a particularly good seeing to. Whether odd coincidence or coordinated attack, karma really is a female dog. The guy deserved what he got because there's no need to kick a stray dog just for the fun of it. Next time, he'll think about it twice before he does something stupid. That was just a few stray dogs taking revenge. You won't want to miss the octopus who decided to become an influencer on social media. Number 14. A lion's share. In 2018, the Limpopo province of South Africa, a severed head was found at a national park next to a loaded hunting rifle. Both rifle and head were later found to belong to a poacher named David Beloyi, but the rest of him was nowhere to be seen. It turns out the pride of lions he'd been hunting ate the rest of him. Since almost none of him was left, it was difficult for authorities to initially identify the man. Ironically, just a year later, 3 lions had been found dead in Limpopo with their heads and paws missing. Heads and paws are, of course, the bits that poachers like to keep. Could the lions that ate David Beloyi have known this and enacted their revenge accordingly? Maybe not, but it's still pretty poetic. Number 13. Octopus attacks diver. Have you ever seen an angry octopus? If you have not, watch closely as this octopus is annoyed by this diver, and it lets the diver know. The octopus grabs the diver in a headlock, and the diver tries to remove the octopus, but it is not an easy task. Now, the octopus is attacking the diver's gear. This is going to be a long night. This next clip shows us an idiot YouTuber trying to impress her audience by trying to eat an octopus alive, until the octopus decides to eat her. That's what I call pre-karma. It happens even before you commit the act. Look at how ridiculous she looks, and she's crying like a baby. She deserves everything she got from this octopus. In this next sequence, this octopus seems to be enamored with this diver and tries to grab his legs. This next attack is a little scary. The diver is attacked by a giant squid, and I don't think he's getting out of this mess. The good news is it's just a movie, so no one was hurt during filming. Number 12. Bringing home dinner. This incident proves that the revenge of animals could be brutal. In 2011, an Indonesian man returned from a vacation to a rather unwelcome surprise. Through malice or irresponsibility, he left his 7 dogs locked in the house without observation or food for 2 weeks. As you'll see, the reaction to his return was far from welcome. A few days after he'd returned, a neighbor became suspicious when he caught a whiff of a horrible smell coming from his house. He called the police, who investigated and discovered the man's dead body in one room and his skull in another. The prime suspects were his dogs, believed to have eaten him, driven by starvation. The police also found the bones of a few other dogs inside, presumably the victims of the hungry pack. What did the guy expect? I like to see if he wasn't fed for 7 days, what would he do? Number 11. Ducks and geese attack human. Ducks and geese are child's play compared to camels, but they can become very annoying if they decide to have something against you. Watch these ducks charge these people without being afraid. The people are the ones who are scared and run away like scary cats. This next clip shows a goose attack a man. These 2 geese give this man a hard time, enough for him to back up and fall on his rear end. Why do people always go looking for trouble? This next sequence of clips is various people getting attacked by geese, and the geese seem to have the upper hand. People just run like they're being chased by lions. In this next video, this goose looks like it needs a lift, but the woman will have nothing of it. The goose insists and almost manages to jump into the car, but the lady pushes it out at the last second. Lady, this poor goose just wanted a lift to the mall. I guess the goose hasn't heard about Uber yet. Number 10. The crow's revenge. You may be aware that crows are among the smartest animals and have been observed using simple tools, solving complex problems, and demonstrating more common sense than some humans, you know. It turns out crows also use their massive brains to hold grudges, and they demonstrate a great example of animal revenge. Researchers in Seattle who trapped and banded crows for 5 years learned this the hard way. It turns out, crows find being trapped and studied quite demeaning and aren't so quick to forget their jailers. Nor are their friends, who gathered over researchers' heads, cawing in disapproval at the sight of their trapped comrades. Even after an entire year without seeing the researchers, upon finally seeing them in the wild, the crows would caw in anger and dive bomb them in mobs of 30 or more birds. The number of attaching birds was more than they had to capture in the past. It means word had spread to the whole community. The researchers soon found by carrying out experiments in realistic masks that crows can memorize individual human faces. Even 5 years on, one researcher donned his experimental mask once more and was instantly the victim of an intense verbal assault from the campus corvids. Number 9. Elephants kills big game hunter. A South African big game hunter was killed in Zimbabwe when an elephant that had been shot by another hunter fell on him. The hunter, Funis Botha, 51, from South Africa, had been leading paying tourists on hunting trips for over 3 decades. He was guiding a group of hunters near a village called Gwai in western Zimbabwe, according to the Afrikaans media outlet, when he came across a herd of elephants. Some of them charged, and Mr. Botha fired toward them with his gun, but one elephant got close enough to lift Mr. Botha with its trunk. Another member of the group then shot the elephant, killing it. It crushed Mr. Botha as it fell to the ground. If the animal kingdom had ever aimed crosshairs at anyone, notorious hunter Thanos Botha was a prime target, and he should have known that. To this day, the hunter's website offers customers a unique, exciting African safari experience. And boy, did his demise fit that description. The majestic wildlife that was so often the target of both his hunts got its revenge on the South African hunter. And I have to be honest and say that he deserves what came to him. Why did he have to go around killing wild animals to make money? You live by the sword and you die by the sword. Elephant hunting with a license is not illegal in Zimbabwe, but Mr. Botha's death has sparked outcry from critics of the practice, who say big game hunting is immoral. Number 8. Buffalo revenge. Trophy hunter Claude Clighens was out near the Levubu River in South Africa, loading a buffalo he had just killed into his car, when suddenly, out of nowhere, another charged him and gored him right in the crotch. Unfortunately, while cartoons may lead us to see some humor in this type of attack, the reality was not so funny. Apparently, this buffalo had murder on his mind, since he hit Clighens' femoral artery, killing him almost instantly. African buffalo can weigh up to 1,300 pounds and reportedly kill over 200 people every year. They're highly aggressive and very protective of their herd mates, which apparently extends to communal revenge against humans with guns. Maybe the buffalo was really upset Clighens had killed his best buddy. Did you ask yourself the question? There's some things that just make you say, Number 7. Bear meets cyclist. A man cycling on a highway got the surprise of his life when he was confronted by a big bear who didn't seem all that happy to see the man. The bear challenged the man who got off his bike and tried protecting himself with the bike as the bear approached him. But a car coming from the other side was able to turn towards the bear to scare him off, and the bear eventually fled into the forest. He must have been one scary encounter for the cyclist. And can you imagine what might have happened if the car never showed up? I don't think the cyclist would have made it out alive. Bears are probably the most difficult predators to run away from. They run faster than you do, they swim better than you do, and they climb trees better than you do. I guess the only way you can get away from a bear is if you can fly, and that's not about to happen soon. Number 6. Eagle attacks on humans. Eagles are the apex predators of the skies, and when they decide to come down on a prey, they usually do not miss, just like this eagle who attacks this cameraman. This next clip shows an eagle attack a young girl in the open field. The little girl is screaming when someone finally gets there to free the girl from the eagle. The girl walks away terrified, but unharmed, and the handlers control the eagle. This next clip is hard to believe, but it seems like an eagle on vacation in Montreal snatched a kid at the park. This is highly unlikely because there are no eagles in Montreal, and there's no way something like this really happened, or it would be all over the news. This next clip shows an eagle attack people on a mountainside. This is kind of scary because people in panic might cause them to tumble down without even having been touched by the eagle. In this next clip, what looks like a training session, the eagle attacks a woman on the run to the ground. Eagles are dangerous because they attack from above, and it is always more difficult to defend when an attack comes from above, unless you're equipped with anti-eagle missiles. Number 5. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Moonshiner. In what sounds like the beginning of a feline John Wick movie, a tiger turned vengeful after his mate and cub were killed by humans in Sita Thadu, India. When officials arrested man for an illegal alcohol bootlegging operation in the forest, he recounted the whole story. His fellow brewer had killed the tigers and their cub when he spotted them near the base of their operations. 3 days later, the moonshiners were out in the forest again, where the widower tiger found them, dragging one of them into the forest. The authority eventually found the man half dead, and he later succumbed to his injuries in hospital. If there's a lesson here, don't hunt tigers and don't make moonshine. Number 4. Indonesian pop singer. People present acts with all sorts of animals. Some work for the circus and present dangerous shows with tigers and bears, and sometimes things go wrong. This time, it was a singer who was bitten by a king cobra. If you're a singer, why do you need to have a king cobra on stage with you? Is your singing not good enough? The singer in question is Emma Buell, aged 29, and she incorporated snakes into her performances. But I guess this snake had stage fright. The snake apparently bit the singer, who died 45 minutes later. I don't understand why authorities didn't get anti-venom to her on time. We can see in the footage staff removing the snakes, but I'm not sure who the singer is because everyone looks alive in this footage. Because the music scene is saturated with performers, singers like to use gimmicks to attract audiences, and using king cobras during her concerts was this singer's gimmick. I'm not sure I get that because I go to a concert to listen to the singer's songs, not to watch the singer play with a snake. Number 3. Elephants never forget. Elephants are vengeful. In 2011, Champwa Forest Range in India, poachers killed an elephant for its tusks. The rest of the herd seemingly sought out to avenge their loss and did so with trumpets blazing. Combining forces with another herd, the elephant's family went on to a huge rampage, destroying 54 houses in the surrounding area over the course of 2 weeks. Human families became homeless after the elephants literally torn apart their houses, forcing the forest department to pay up for rehoming those affected. The elephants hid deep within the dense forest during the day and emerged at night to trample civilization. This type of behavior becomes increasingly common around the world, where human operations increasingly reduce the roaming forest for these amazing creatures. Number 2. The angry llama alpaca. Does anyone know what a llama alpaca is? If you don't, then watch this video carefully and you will. This white llama alpaca is very upset and is chasing its handler to give him a piece of its mind. Llamas usually like to spit in people's faces, but this llama prefers charging people. This is a big animal, and getting knocked by it must not feel good. The llama seems annoyed by the man cleaning its enclosure and tries to disrupt his work. At least the llama isn't biting the man, it's just body slamming him, and the man seems to find it quite funny and entertaining. Well, as long as no one gets hurt. This kid seems mesmerized by this llama, but frankly, who leaves such a small boy get so close to such a big animal? Anything can happen. We just saw what llamas can do in the previous clip. If this llama decides to charge the boy, that will be the end of him. I seriously don't get some parents. Luckily for the kid, all the llama does is spit in the kid's face. This next clip shows us a llama that's quite confrontational, and it just chases this man relentlessly. The man panics and tries to push the llama away, but that's not happening, so the man runs away towards the forest with the llama still chasing him. The llama must be in love. Number 1. The thief monkeys. Our next culprits are not violent and they don't attack humans. They just rob them blind. Our first clip shows a bunch of monkeys mugging a man for his cash. I mean, these monkeys need to eat too. Luckily for the man, a woman saved him when she came out with the broom to smack the monkeys. In the next video, you can see how these monkeys rob people without them even realizing it. People find these monkeys cute, but they're far from cute. They're clever though. They manage to steal sunglasses and wallets. They're professional pickpockets, and the best part is no one knows this is happening. Watch this monkey steal a purse from this tourist. The woman chases the monkey to get it back. Good luck with that. These monkeys are starving, and I don't think it's such a great idea to have a picnic in front of dozens of starving monkeys. Now these monkeys didn't take the long way home. They grabbed the luggage and enjoyed every minute of it. Good for them. Well, we've seen it all. My favorite had to be the llama spitting in the kid's face. What was your favorite? Why don't you tell us in the comments below? Well, that's our countdown of 15 animals that took revenge on humans. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and let us know in the comments what you think. Check out our other videos and subscribe to be part of the fun. Click on the notification icon so you can see our new videos as soon as they're uploaded. That's it for now.